Whether you like it or not, it's time for you to log out. If you're wondering what I mean, you would become significantly more happier, successful, and probably less tired if you stopped consuming so much and started creating more. And I don't mean you to come out and be a creator, but I want you to think a bit more deeply about what you consume when it comes to these devices right here. Because it's crazy the amount of hours that we spend looking at this thing. I was on a train in London and I was on a tube and I was thinking, you know, I'm looking around and everyone's like this. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why is everyone like this when there's no signal on the train? There's no signal. So what the hell are you lot looking at? I can understand if maybe you've downloaded a movie on your thing, but the tube journeys are not that long, so you ain't watching a movie. Maybe you've downloaded a video podcast and you're watching it, but everyone is literally zombified like this on the tube with no signal. So what are you even looking at? Who are you messaging? What are you scrolling on? And there's an addiction that we don't seem to kind of take as seriously as some other addictions, which is phone addiction. We talk about maybe alcohol addictions, drug addictions, maybe even like sexual addictions that people have, but we don't talk about this bad boy right here and how much hours it drains from people. Now, the only kind of caveat to that is if you use it for work, which for me, I do use it for work. It's a business-related deal. But I think that most people would be happier if they consumed less. And it's not even I think. There's a lot of Google research that I did. Yes, Google. I didn't go too deep on this. And people found that less social media use actually resulted in them being significantly happier and having higher satisfaction with their lives. And there's probably a caveat to that, or there's probably an abundance of reasons to that. One of the reasons is probably obvious. Every time we scroll on this, every time you sit there and you consume more stuff, which is ironic because I'm making this video for you to consume, but every time you sit there and you scroll and you watch more YouTube videos and you watch more Instagram videos and you watch more TikToks, you're watching other people's reality being enforced upon you. That's exactly why I don't really read the news. You know, I only scroll for fitness, business-related purposes. I don't really consume pop culture. I remember I was seeing a girl and she asked me this question about like, what do I think about Rihanna and Chris Brown? And I was just thinking like, what do you mean, what do I think about it? I don't think anything of it because I don't consume that stuff. I don't, like, to be honest, I don't even really know. Obviously, I know he been an abuser, but I didn't know the details of what happened. So what do I think about it? I mean, I don't know because I don't really consume pop culture and I try not to. The most you're gonna get from me is sports because that's just how I grew up. I grew up around sports. You're gonna see a significant increase in your life if you take a step back from some of this stuff. And I'm not saying to go cold turkey, although my approach to things is usually cold turkey to start off with, then I ease myself back into stuff. But even if you just get to the point of limiting your consumption, logging out, grayscaling your phone, deleting apps and then re-downloading them to use them, so then there's a bit of a barrier because it's an addiction that has gone undiagnosed because people don't think it has a direct impact, but it must have an impact, and it must be having an impact on society and on people. It's hard for me to think that it isn't just because of the way things are, the way people are, the way people interact, the lack of community, the lack of social skills that people have these days, the increase in anxiety amongst people or self-diagnosed anxiety. Everyone has ADHD now. Like, all these little things. Are you telling me that this device does not play a part, or the rise in the usage of this device? It must do, because all these things have just popped up not out of nowhere, but it's really heavily increased. And the spike in increase must be related to the usage of this right here. Now, what do I personally do? I consume for work purposes, so I do a lot of content research. I'm looking at things that are trending, ideas. I do not necessarily like sit there and scroll aimlessly, and if I do, it will be very limited, 10, 15 minutes, or if I'm traveling and I'm bored. Traveling, I kind of give myself that grace, but I'm not it's very rare that I'm sitting inside at home in my living room just doom scrolling. It's just not really something that I do. So I've found ways to kind of caveat that and really manage that effectively, because I don't think that it's what you should be doing. You know, if you want to build a better business, a better life for yourself, I see people struggling because of stuff like this. So I wanted to make a very short video just to kind of impart my wisdom on you when it comes to this device and freeing yourself, because we may feel that we're free, but if we're constantly trapped on this, freedom is a lot further away than you think. Peace.